Welcome back to the Trusco Dave and Astro. We are now about to start game 5 of day 2 of the Junior Africa Cup. My name is Jericho Cormack and I'm here with my sister Kiana Cormack, and we will be your commentators for the day.
Hi everyone, it's really cool to be on here with you guys, being able to commentate this game and watch it. I think it's going to be a really cool game. It's going to be a tough one. It's always a tight competition between these two, Namibia and Zimbabwe under 21 women. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
By what we know, Zimbabwe, we like to call them the thorn in our side as Namibia. We never know how that game's going to go, so we're very excited to be able to commentate this game for everyone. You need to laugh. Okay, so the lineup for Zimbabwe. Ki, any players here that you know a little bit more about?
So obviously, because it's not really my age group, I don't know too many, but I do know number 13, Elijah. She's quite a popular player. She's really talented and she's coming through the ranks. I know that she plays for the senior women as well, so she's going to be a cool one to watch, as well as their number 1 goalkeeper, Matura Muswa. So I think that she also represents the senior ladies, and it'll just be really exciting because I think they'll carry their teams today.
Yeah, we've had the privilege to be able to help them prep when they arrived, and they really gave us a bit of a run for our money. It was quite an exciting little game to play. So yeah, Namibia. Okay, we definitely know all the names on this list, but a few names that we're quite excited to watch against this team is definitely Zayli Philander, the captain, but I see she isn't starting this game, which is quite interesting. She's definitely the more experienced player, but I'm sure the coaches have a plan here. Who else do you think is one to watch in this team, Key?
Well, I think there's a lot of experience in this team. I don't know. I think there's probably about 7 girls that have at least represented the senior ladies in the previous central qualifiers. But even their coach, Cedric Makati, is also a very experienced coach. He coached them at the Fives World Cup. A few of these players, about 1 or 2. So yeah, there's a lot to expect from them, and it's going to be cool how they can bring their experience to this game.
I agree. Yeah, he was also our head coach in Pretoria a few years back, so he definitely knows what he's doing. The teams are getting ready to walk on for their anthems.
The vibe here is also really great. There's so many people here to watch, so many people just coming to really support Namibia. All the other African teams are also here to watch. The weather's quite nice today, but yeah, I think it's just really cool. So if you are doing nothing at home and you're in Windhoek, please make your way to the turf. I think you will definitely not regret it.
So traditionally when tournaments happen, they sing their anthems on day 1. So we won't be hearing the anthems today, but hopefully if the teams make the finals, we'll be able to hear them sing again. I quite like hearing anthems. I don't know about Yuki, but I always get so emotional when we have to sing our anthem for our country. It's honestly one of my favorite moments.
And I know 1 or 2 of the players really sing it quite loud and proud, so it's a pity that you guys don't get to hear that today, but hopefully if they make it further than this, you will be able to experience that.
Yeah. It's good to see the crowd, lots of familiar faces, everyone very excited. I see some Zim fans have also come out, which is always great when families come and support their loved ones. Yeah, it's a huge privilege to be able to travel, watch your family members play, so I'm sure they're just as excited as we are.
So you'll see as the teams are huddling up, you've got Zim. Obviously the captain will probably be giving a nice little hype talk as they're about to do their cheers. We don't know who's starting with the ball yet, but it looks like Namibia is playing towards the side that is not facing the sun, which is always to your advantage, especially when it comes to throwing aerials. And yeah, let's see how they can use that first half to their advantage.
Ki, earlier you were saying one thing that we look forward to with the game like Zimbabwe versus Namibia is the teams have similar game styles. So I know when we play them, it's a very exciting game because they have a similar structure to us, where usually when you play other teams, it's very unpredictable. But Zimbabwe is quite an entertaining game to play.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely going to be a good game to watch. I think the hockey's going to be good. It's not going to be dirty. I don't think. I think that it's really going to test both teams. So yeah, I'm just really looking forward to this. It's going to be a tough game for both of them.
Okay, a few more minutes till pushback.
I think as a player I always hate this part, just waiting for that starting whistle to go. Just want to get the game started.
Even the players, smiles on their faces, excited to get it going. How do you feel about playing at 5 o'clock, Key?
I mean, especially in Windhoek, because it's so hot, I think it's a better time to play. It's not so nice, as I said, with the sun setting. It's a bit of a disadvantage for whoever's facing that way, but it goes away pretty quickly, and it's a lot cooler than the teams that have to play at 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock. So yeah, it's going to be a good intense game. I love playing at night, so yeah. And there's the starting whistle.
Okay, turnover from Namibia. Everything looks pretty patient and calm for now. Oh, unfortunate turnover for Zimbabwe again.
Yeah, I think both teams are really going to try and look at who can keep the most possession. That's the main thing that wins you games, is how much possession you have. And I think it might be pretty even in this game, but hopefully one of the teams can just keep that, and then we'll see what happens.
Okay, our game is being umpired by Marily Swart from South Africa and Lena Baraza from Kenya. The reserve umpire, Everson Liai. Reserve umpires are always, I find them quite interesting. Like, how much do they really help? Oh, we've just got our first short corner for Namibia.
In the first minute, that's going to be really good for them, so hopefully they can use this.
What do you think they're going to do?
Well, it looks like they're setting up 2 castles, which is always a bit more difficult for the defensive team, but I think we'll have to wait and see. I'm going to call a first castle flick. And she hits it, and another short corner is awarded. Okay, so I was way off with that one, but with the re-award, let's see. I think that was Nicola Ferry who took that straight hit.
That's always the first most common short corner you expect, is the drag flick. So it's quite nice to see a little bit of something different now and then.
The push comes out a little bit slow, and she just misses on that slip.
16 for Zimbabwe. Everything seems quite patient now. As you can see on the screen, we have the current logs. Zimbabwe is sitting at number 2, whereas Namibia is at number 3, but they are on equal points and wins. So this game is quite a big one for both of them to try and move up on their spots.
I think as far as, well, Zimbabwe's on the attack, we'll get back to the stats now. And Namibia quickly turn it over.
Kalagili carrying the ball quite nicely. Oh, sneaky turnover there by Zimbabwe. Good counter. Zimbabwe get the blow.
Yeah, I think as we were saying, this game's really important for them, because if I understand correctly, top 2 in the pool will go straight to the final, and then whoever comes third will obviously have to play the 3rd and 4th. And it's a round robin, so it's a format that I don't like personally, because it doesn't allow you to play a semi-final or give another team a chance to make it into the final, and 3 teams get to qualify for the Junior World Cup. So if you really want to secure your spot, I think this is the game that's going to determine that for Namibia or Zimbabwe.
So far, both teams are doing quite well with regards to pressure and putting each other under some good attack there. Zimbabwe has had a bit more possession. Good carrying. Oh, unlucky miss there. Namibia's ball on the line. Slowing it down a little to create a good build-up. It's Marika Neetling. She's just come back from the Indoor World Cup. She was the youngest player in the team, and Ki and I had the privilege of playing with her there, and she really was quite a joy to play with. She was very mature as the youngster in our team. There's a lot of turnover in this game.
Yeah, a lot of turnover, but I think both teams are doing a high full court press. So they're definitely trying to just put each other under a lot of pressure, and it's going to be a matter of whoever gets tired first. There's Mia Carsten trying to carry through, but the Zimbabwean captain, Elijah, just taking her out.
It's very exciting watching Elijah play. Like, she's definitely a danger player. When she gets that ball, you have that little bit of panic in you.
Yeah. I think that she's actually been to a Junior World Cup before, if I am not mistaken. So she does have a lot of experience under her belt, and yeah, she's one to watch out for. So I wonder if Namibia can contain her.
One thing I've noticed in this tournament, Ki, is a lot of players go in for like the wrong-sided tackles. It looks a little bit desperate at times, but I guess it's just because of the pace of the game. Everything is so fast, fast, fast.
Yeah, I mean, being a defender myself, you definitely need to be a lot more patient. You don't always have to make the tackle. You want to try to protect the middle and play them on the outside. But yeah, I guess that just comes with experience.
Great ball by Abby Rolls. Oh.
Circle entry for Namibia. And it's a goal for Namibia.
Well done. That's the perfect example of playing on until that whistle. Great goal by Onique Poseidon. Family members giving each other a little high five there in the crowd. As I said before, where it started, Abby Rolls passing a great ball forward. Zayli Philander just unfortunately nicking the ball, but Onique being in the perfect place to try and get that far post tap in. Good ball control, good shot. Unlucky by the defense there, but 1-0 to Namibia. And again, the waiting game. So for those at home that aren't sure, time always has to be stopped if a goal is scored or if there are short corners. So it does make the game feel much longer than it usually is. It just gives everyone time to resettle. Sometimes it's not always to the advantage of the other team, but yeah, the rules are the rules.
Yeah, so just looking at Namibia, I see that they've put Zayli Philander up as a striker, and I've played with her a few times, and we usually play her a little bit deeper, more as a midfielder. So I wonder what the coach's tactic is there, just playing her up front. But as you can see, she gave a good assist there to Onique, so it created a goal. So I think that he'll keep her there for the rest of the game.
Namibia having some really good build-up play here.
I agree.
Aneko Higgs on the ball, tries to play through players, recovers.
Still going.
Zimbabwe's ball. It really is all about reaction, I think. We were talking about it the other day. A lot of these teams have very good reaction hockey, so no matter what the mistake is, if you're good at recovering quickly, you will be able to be the dominant player in a duel.
Yeah, I mean, when you're playing on different turfs as well, it's hard to predict if the ball's going to be flat or bouncy or whatever it is. So the players really have to have their eye in and just, not make any excuses and just keep playing and make the most of what you get. It's also nice to see that there's ball boys.
Yes.
Yeah, because that also keeps the pace of the game pretty quick if they stay focused. But yeah, just have the ball keep keep rolling, keeping it rolling. Zimmer on the attack now.
Marika Neethling.
The good interception.
Good. Oh,
And again from Zimbabwe.
Zim seem to be reading the passes really well. They've gotten quite a few interceptions already. Good carrying of the ball.
By Tozana, number 8 from Zimbabwe. She's really on the attack, doing well for her team.
But Marika Neethling cleaning up at the back.
And Abigail Rolls again on the ball. High distribution, but easily read by Zimbabwe.
Again, our angles coming in for tackles are what's letting Namibia down a little bit. So for those at home who aren't quite sure of the rules, yes, it did hit her foot, but if there's no one around, they do allow game to play on. I'm sure you'll hear people in the crowd asking why that's not a blow.
Yeah, I think the Namibian crowd is very vocal about how they feel about certain calls, so the umpires have been under a lot of pressure, but I think they've been handling it quite well. I haven't seen too many bad calls from them, so yeah, I think a lot of experience as well.
So far, Namibia owning this first chukka with 60% ball possession and Zimbabwe with 40%. But I will admit, every time Zim has had the ball, they do look like they're a bit more in control, though.
Yeah, very exciting. They're going forward. They're not holding back. I think especially because they're chasing now, 1-0 down. They're going to want to get that 1 goal back as quickly as possible.
And Nikki Fourie was just on the ball. Fun fact, it is her birthday today.
How old is she now? I think 18?
18? Is she 19? No, 18.
Yeah, I think she probably just turned 18.
I would say she was 19, but I think she's 18. Yeah, she's still in matric.
Yeah, she is. At Windhoek Gymnasium High School. Zim getting the circle entry and just tackled by Marika Neethling. She's now on the attack. They're going to really look. They should release the ball. Lovely interplay between her and Abigail Rolls.
Again, good build-up play by Nam. And Zimbabwe sneak in there.
Yeah, they're really doing well. I think when we played against Zimbabwe, their tackling is actually really good. They get nice and low. Their block tackling is difficult to read, and you often get tackled by them. So they're going to use that to their advantage.
Nice and patient. And there's Milan on the ball. She also played for the senior ladies in last year's Central African qualifiers. She's young, but she's got the perfect build. I was telling you last, she's really got this intimidating build. Nice long legs.
Very good build up there by Namibia, just getting a foot. Marika Kriya finding the foot of Elijah. I mean, there's still a whole 45 minutes left of this game, I think. So there's a lot of time. So sit back and watch, guys, because a lot can still happen. It's a 16 for Zimbabwe.
Nam applying a bit more pressure. Double teaming. Mia on the ball. And Zimbabwe again with their very good reading of the game. I think that's one thing I've noticed, if a team's got good basics. So I've noticed, like, who was it? Zambia, we played a practice match against them.
Namibia have the turnover, takes a shot, and it's a goal! 2-0 for Namibia. Didn't quite see who took that shot. I think it was Anique Bezuidenhout.
Yeah.
Once again.
There we go. She's now really gotten her name on that scorecard.
Yeah, I think Namibia are going to be very happy with that.
Yeah, I think Zimbabwe should be a little bit disappointed in their defense stepping there. It was quite an easy circle entry for Anique. So they just need to work on their post-upping at the back.
Yeah, but I think that's the result of a high press. You know, when your strikers are pressing high and putting the defenders under a lot of pressure, then you're going to turn the ball over because you want your midfielders to turn that ball over, and then you'll get the outcomes you're looking for.
We can hear the coaches talking. You can hear them calling their tactics. And most of it is keep going, keep working back. I think that's something we really get frustrated with as players is you go on a high attack and if there's a turnover, the higher players stay back and they don't drop quick enough.
Yeah, completely. There's a nice overhead there by Marika Niethling, but just picked up by Zimbabwe. But Alice Rolls picking up the ball to attack.
Bit of scruffiness outside the circle there.
But
Zimbabwe
Zimbabwe
get the ball
handling it just as we've been saying this whole time.
I feel like they keep winning the 50-50 chances there, which is ironic seeing as they haven't had more ball possession, but they definitely look more in control on the ball. Nice and patient build up. Hannah Godfrey controlling the back nicely there. Ooh, a little bit of a bad tackle there by Tisha Semedo. She's not going to be happy with me when she goes.
No, she's not going to be happy
watches
with you.
this.
Just unable to find that connection there into the midfield for Zimbabwe. Namibia have possession again, trying to play up high.
And again, Zimbabwe turn over the ball.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those back and forth games, and I think the teams just need to try and focus on keeping the ball stick to stick, not wasting passes, just finding each other. Good baseline entry, shot by Mareka Krier, and it just goes out.
Namibia definitely having a lot more positive hockey in the circle, where Zim are struggling to actually get into the 25.
Zim try to outlet, but just let it go outside. So Namibia have the ball again. Tisha Semedo.
Zim need to just start finding those gaps a little bit better. Namibia, Tisha Semedo passes to number 11, Alice Rolls. Long corner. The body language is looking a little bit tired. I think the first 14 minutes have been tougher than what it actually looks.
Mia
Nice
Mia
shot by
Carson
Mia
with the backstick
Carstens.
shot, or tomahawk as they call it, and she puts it in the back of the goal. No, I'm just going to say that I think Namibia are really playing a positive game here. I think that they seem very switched on. It's a really great way to start. I mean,
considering their game against Kenya yesterday, their first chucker, they really looked like they were under a bit of pressure.
if you just watch the replay here, you'll see Mia connecting so nicely there to get it in the back of the goal.
Her body angle looked, I didn't think she was actually going to make a good
I thought it was going to hit her
connection,
backstick, to be honest.
So that was really good. Yeah, I think Zim need to just work on their defending there as well. No one even stepped as she took that shot.
Yeah, there's about a minute left, so it's just going to be interesting to hear what their coach might have to tell them, because he's going to have to think of something that they're going to have to do to counter Namibia. I mean, it's not easy to go 3 goals down, but they're on the attack, which is looking positive. Again, number 8, positive entry, but they get nothing off of it. Namibia clear it.
Marlene Kutsia with a good steal and carrying down the right. Oh, unlucky.
The umpire lets it play, but usually that would be a dangerous blow.
I think she's giving advantage to Zim. Although I personally feel that that's not really positive advantage. Yeah.
I do think I would have rather taken the blow, but Zim get the ball anyways, so that's good for them. Yeah, as I was saying, the coach is going to have to come up with a good way to motivate these Zim girls to come back stronger. But 45 minutes, anything can happen. You can still score way more than 3 goals in that, so they must just keep going, keep their heads high.
Like you said, Namibia does seem a bit more switched on today than their game yesterday. It took them a while to get into it, but they came away with a nice 4-0 win. Again, Zimbabwe does look like they have their situations under control, but then there are so many turnovers happening in this part of the game. So that's the end of the first chukker.
Yeah, and I think that let's just see how they come back firing in the second chukker. See what happens, see the changes. And there you can see it. 3-0 for Namibia.
Good start for the girls. Is there any... is there anything you would suggest for Zimbabwe?
I think that they just should do their best to not become desperate. I mean, when you go 3-0 down, and what I mean by desperate is just, playing too many fast balls, just trying to get the ball up sometimes. They need to try and connect with one another. It's a team sport. Find your teammates and, just back one another and trust in each other.
I think a lot of people like the concept of a crash ball, and I think that's what a lot of African countries actually like to do, but it's not always the advantage. So I think Zim just need to work on more of a build-up before they get into the 25, but they just can't seem to make anything work after that.
And there you just watch some of the highlights there. You see Onique Bezedeno's first goal again to start the game off with 1-0. All smiles there on the pitch for them. At the end of the day, goals don't always have to be pretty, I mean, a goal counts. If it's put in the back of the net, then it counts. It's on the scoreboard.
That's fair. Yeah. I was going to say, I want to give more information about some of the Zimbabwean players, but I can't always see the numbers on their back.
Yeah.
They've got such amazing hair. No, it's just a side note there, but
it's just covering the numbers and names on their back, so we can't see
they've
as
got
much.
3 good players carrying the ball, but they've got these amazing ponytails. Just yeah. Okay, whistle has gone for the second shaka to get on the way.
Yep.
There's our Namibian crowd. Sun is, I must say, I'm quite proud of our crowd being out here, because I know a lot of people got quite sunburnt yesterday.
Including myself, yeah. It wasn't so great. But, let's see what the second quarter has in store for us.
And Namibian goalkeeper, Henri Jacobs on the field. I quite enjoy her just as a person. She's got such a great little personality on her.
Yeah, she is very chilled. So I think that she takes that personality onto the field with her as a keeper, just very calm and cool.
Okay, good start from Zim.
What I do like about Zim is that they play the ball into their midfield. I know it's Elijah, so it's a player that they really trust, but they play it in, which draws the Namibians in, and then they play it out and around again. And that's what you need to do. You need to trust your midfield. Namibia have the ball again. Also, nice in and out pass.
Not too
Does
much
the trick, yeah. Weighted passes. Zali Philander on the ball.
Gets a foot.
Baseline carry, going to look for a shorty, but Zim again.
Good
just
defense.
Defending, keeping it out.
Again, their reactions and their little basics with the aerial skills especially, they read it really well.
So yesterday Zimbabwe actually had a nice result against, was it Zambia? Yes, I think that they won 8-1 if I'm not mistaken. So I mean, they can take that. They can score goals. It's definitely something that they can do. So hopefully they can also bring that into this game.
Yeah, I think it was even quite an interesting game to start with. It was like 1-0 for a while, and then how we say the floodgates just open, and then some just kind of enjoyed themselves after that.
Namibia using a little bit more ball speed on their build-up, which looks pretty good. Azali Philander circle entry, and she wins the short corner.
Good ball by JC Gracer there.
Just hitting the foot on number 6, who's Niaguze Nyasha. She's going to not be so happy about that one, but they're just setting up for the short corner now. I wonder what Namibia is going to do this time. The first 2 shorties didn't work out for them.
I'll maybe call a flick. I see Marika Netling's on the top again, so let's see.
Yeah, it'll either go to Marika or Nicola, but maybe Marika's got this one.
Again, the waiting game.
Second castle. Marika Netlink just hits the post.
Called it though. Good drag flick play on. The Namibians are looking for a blow.
So I see the ref played advantage there when it actually hit the foot or backstick of the Zimbabwean, but they allowed the advantage.
A little bit of scrappy passing there. But again, Namibia does get the ball, and they're carrying well again. The coach again calling for more pressure from the Zim girls. Most coaches only call that if the opposition is dominating.
No, definitely.
So I think, but they keep saying put more pressure, but then Nam is also reading those gaps. That's what we call anti-skill.
Yeah. Elijah's really looking for these long slaps into her strikers, and every now and then they are picking it up. So now that they're higher up in the field, they need to look for some really positive circle entries, carrying it. Namibia not 5. Short corner for Zimbabwe. The coach definitely motivating them from the side, just telling them to pick it up, and this is positive for them. I mean, as we said earlier, they can score goals, they can score short corners, so they're going to really want to use this.
Yeah, no matter what the scoreline is, 3-0, you can never be comfortable with that because anything can happen. There's still, 2 more chuckers, and this chucker is not even halfway done yet, so lots can still happen in this game.
Oh, and a great flick by Elijah, but just saved by Henri Jacobs.
Yeah, it was very good save that.
Very good save.
Zim take the long corner quickly, play the ball, Marika Nyetling in the line there again.
And Namibia win the ball.
I wanted to talk about the different styles of pushing, of
Yes.
injecting into a circle. There's the run up, and then there's the South African slap, if anyone has made note of that. We were talking about what do you think was more effective.
Yeah, well, I mean, I had to push once, and our pushes were a bit slow, so our coach told us that we have to start slapping. And it definitely worked in training, but when you have to push that ball in a game, it's so nerve-wracking, and the slap can go anywhere, high, low. So I think just a normal push is more accurate, but a slap is definitely much quicker. So I think you'll see more people doing that in future.
Namibia winning the ball again, Mila Malone on the ball.
Just giving it away to the Zimbabweans. So midfield connecting with their strikers, playing a through ball. This could be a chance for Zimbabwe. Oh, and she just doesn't connect it. But they get the short corner.
Seems to be a bit of an injury.
We'll just find out which number this is for you.
Looks like number 8, Amber Tizana. Apologies for any mispronunciations.
She really doesn't look okay. She looks like she's in a lot of pain. I wonder what caused it.
She was taking her back 6 shot, and Mila came in to try and stop it, but I think it must be a muscle injury. I don't think she's been hit anyway. Is it number 10? Number 10, Jessica Orford. Okay. Teams coming together just to have a quick regroup.
Yeah, that's the only thing about hockey. I mean, if you play it, you know it is a dangerous sport. There's been quite a few injuries in this tournament. I know in this South African men's game versus Zambia last night, there were 2 injuries and a lot of slipping on this turf as well. So, yeah, it's a little bit hard to control. But that's why you play the sport. It comes with the sport. And she's running off nicely. The crowd is clapping her off. So we hope that the medics can look after her.
I think it's one of those situations where something might have happened and more in the moment it was a bit of a shock, but she jogged off quite fine, so I think maybe
she'll be back on the pitch pretty soon.
Definitely. Shorty for Zim.
Oh, and saved on the line by Nicola Fourie. Zim keep going. And Namibia get the ball.
Patiently carrying out the back. Zim get, Namibia win the ball. Is that Abby Rolls carrying there again? She's very calm for the youngster. She's actually, the second youngest in the team?
Yeah, and she's only 16 years old, so this is her her debut for the under-21 ladies national side, so it's very impressive. I think giving her a big role in the midfield there, it will be nice to see how she grows, and yeah, it's always nice to see the youngsters coming through.
I think that was the second overhead we've seen this game. I think women's hockey, you don't see too many overheads. I think it's a confidence thing. Zim again finding each other nicely. Good carrying. Lots of Namibian sticks going there, but Zim win the ball.
I'm really enjoying, I think it's Amber, number 8. She's really attacking nicely on that left-hand side, causing a lot of trouble for the Namibian defense, but just not making it to the circle. So you spoke about how Namibia yesterday against Kenya, they were struggling to score goals or get the game rolling. But I think today it's a lot less hot. So yesterday they were playing the 3 o'clock game, and this one they're playing the 5 o'clock game. So that 2-hour difference really
does make a difference.
Yeah.
There was a clear foot for Zimbabwe a bit earlier, and Namibia didn't get the blow. You could see a few hands went up there, but luckily Namibia has won the ball back. Namibia's doing really well with their troughing round
I'm
the
enjoying
back.
the outletting. I think that they're just keeping the ball, moving the ball, not rushing to go forward. I mean, they're 3 goals up, they don't have to. But Zim are also holding a half-court press, if I'm not wrong. Also just trying to maybe save legs and turn the ball over, waiting for Namibia to make a mistake. Mila Milan throwing an overhead, received well by Tisha Semedo.
Tisha using her strength there to try and win the ball back.
Well, that's another thing about hockey, is it's very physical. So some players complain when they're getting bumped, others don't, and I think that you just have to be strong on the ball. I mean, if you want to win it, you got to work hard. Oh, Zayli Philander just missing it. Again, Amber and Zayli going 1v1, and Amber gets a nice clear to the right. Just can't find a stick.
No one was there for her. But that's again good pressure from Namibia for them to have forced a quick pass by her, so she couldn't place it. And Namibia on the build-up, trying to play through players. We get another ball in. Oh,
cleared by Zimbabwe.
Zim coach very vocal, which I do think in most cases does really help.
Yeah, just for the players to hear his instruction and just hear maybe a bit of his frustration, because us girls, we tend not to listen sometimes. So yeah,
sometimes.
just with the clear instructions we miss, so you have to repeat it as a coach.
Sorry if this is like jumping the gun a little or whatever, but I just think the Namibian defense is looking really calm. Like the 2 centre backs have really had an easy, I feel they've had a bit of an easy time to be able to get the ball and make a good decision, which I guess isn't that great.
Onique Bezeda notes,
Again
nice
with the
steal on the
shot.
top of the circle, and good save by the keeper.
Second phase by Mia, just going past.
I think they're playing very exciting hockey here, putting Zim under a lot of pressure. I think they were a bit quiet yesterday, but you're seeing Mia and Onique just going for it today.
It's nice to know that Namibia have got quite a few players that you could say when they get the ball, you actually get quite nervous.
Yeah.
Not too many other teams have that many players that I would say are worrying me when they get the ball. Again, Zim getting out nicely, but Namibia just getting a good turnover again.
So I don't know, Jerry, what about you? What do you think you would be doing if you were Zim right now?
Like I said, they're just relying a lot on crash balls. There's the only inside out pass they do is to number 13, and then she doesn't have too many options up, or she tries to do a crash ball just out again. So I feel like their build-up isn't as strong as Namibia's build-up is currently, or their forwards are just behind our defenders. So
they need a few more connections.
Is it really their fault with their lines, or are our defense just really reading them well?
And another crash ball.
Another crash ball. It's like we call it a bit desperate hockey.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're a stupid team. I think they could be quite a clever team. So I feel like they really can find each other a little bit better. But I also think this time of the game, they're probably all just getting a bit tired now.
Yeah, this Namibian heat is something else as well. You'll see a lot of teams have different methods to how they roll their bench. So some teams leave players on for a really long time.
Bit of a fumble there.
Others are just playing their bench a lot quicker to really rest legs. So it's always interesting to see how the different coaches do that for their teams. Zimbabwe have the ball, looking for this attack again. Just getting intercepted by Mila Malan.
That's the perfect example of Namibia are able to have 3 players on one Zimbabwean player, which, you know, that's good for Namibia, but not ideal for Zimbabwe. It obviously means there's not enough danger or options up front if they can have 3 players like tackling one of your players. 4 more minutes left on the clock.
I also would like to see Zimbabwe playing a lot more to the right. I think they're playing to the left, which right now isn't to their advantage. And there's a rebound. Save there. And it still goes in there by Mareka Kriya, number 14 for Namibia.
Again, perfect example of playing until the whistle, keep going.
I think that was Tanatswa, the goalkeeper for Zimbabwe, that made that first phase save and then just couldn't win it off the rebound.
They were waiting for the shorty there, but luckily we played on, got the goal. Lots of excitement from
Lots
the
of excitement. I mean, you have to take every goal you get. This might be the last goal you score in the next few games, so you have to celebrate each moment.
I will admit, I didn't think Nam, no, not against Nam, but would have been this far ahead against them.
Especially in the first half.
Yeah, they really are playing a much better game than yesterday. But again, first game jitters. The first game is never a nice one to play. So kudos to them for just stepping up this game and just owning it.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot for Zimbabwe to come back from this. I think they're going to have to use their experienced players and a lot of energy and fight to get back into this game.
Both these teams won their first games yesterday, which puts them on top, as well as South Africa, because they had a forfeit yesterday, and South Africa had a very good game this morning, getting a lot of goals in their pocket this morning. But
I think the score was 19-1. Yeah.
But this game for Zim and Namibia is the one they're fighting for to try and keep the top 2 spot, because top 2 is where you want to end to make your qualification a lot easier than that 3rd spot where you have to play against the 4th spot.
What a lovely through ball there for Zimbabwe. Nice circle entry. What will they do with it? Oh, and just too far behind her player. But she's still fighting and she's still working to win it back.
And again, the Namibian defense just winning.
Well, it's a free hit there. Again, Amber attacking nicely.
Good hands.
Gonna go straight in. And free hit for Zimbabwe. Just a bit of a bump there by Tisha Semedo.
Good little bit of aerial skill there. Patience. Finding a circle entry, but again, the Zimbabweans are just behind the Namibians. They're not finding each other nicely in the circle.
Yeah, I think they're going to start maybe getting a little bit frustrated with the chances that they're getting and just not using. I think Namibia feeling a little bit of pressure there.
Again, nice simple build-up.
Lovely in and out passing there from Namibia.
I'm really enjoying...
Intercepted by Zimbabwe. Now on the attack. Nice speed on the outside.
Another crash ball. Namibia get it. I'm enjoying Namibia's, would I say discipline? They're not dribbling. They're not over-carrying the ball. They really are looking for the pass first, which is nice to see. I think that's what Zimbabwe might be lacking, is they just trying to carry the whole time. They just dribble and not finding each other. But they have control here.
There we go. Foot takes the free hit.
I would say that wasn't 5.
Yeah, I would probably have blown a short corner there, in
Yeah.
my opinion. But I'm not an umpire, so there's only 50 seconds left on the clock. Let's see if Zim can use this.
take advantage
Yeah.
of that.
In this sort of moment, you just want to
And
get the ball into the circle, maybe find a short corner. And maybe a man-to-man marking in the circle. Taking the quick free hit again.
and disarmed by Marika Neetling.
In the corner, just trying to keep possession.
Yeah, I would say that was a bit of an unlucky situation there for Zim. A miss hit like that should definitely have gone Zim's way.
But that's the end of the second quarter. Sure, so quite a nice first half there for Namibia. I'm sure that the fans that have come to support are really happy here at the Trusco Dave and Astro at Windhoek High School. Just a reminder, if you want to come and watch live, it's right here. And yeah, it's just really nice. There's some good food cooking, just lots of stuff to eat here and drink, and yeah, just come and watch some really good hockey. I think I'd be really comfortable if I was Namibia right now.
That could be danger, though. It's not like Zimbabwe haven't had their chances. That second chaka, they definitely showed a bit more positive hockey up top here. But like I said, they just need to get rid of the crash balls and start finding each other and stop dribbling too much. You quite like that number 8. She carries nicely, but I think that last bit of carrying, she doesn't have someone that can support her, so she doesn't pass soon enough. But yeah, they've had their shorty, great flick, great save.
Just some highlights and
Yeah.
some things that they'll be able to look on and see how they can expose Namibia's defense so that they can finally get the outcomes they're looking for. But again, shot there, lovely save by the Zim keeper.
Namibia have had some really nice chances. And again, they just keep playing until they get that end result.
Yeah, I think it's the same type of goals, just very, I don't want to mean it in a disrespectful way, but very scrappy goals, just on top of the keeper. And I think Zim's defense needs to be a lot better on that, just trying to get the ball out there before Namibia can get to it and just clear it out.
There seem to be more Namibians in the circle than Zimbabwe.
Yes.
So. But yeah, no, overall it's been a really good half for Namibia. There's a lot I do think Zim could do. I do not think that they're playing their hockey. I do not think they're playing to their full potential. I was expecting this to be a bit more of a challenge for Namibia. But again, they might have just needed yesterday to get it out of their system, and now they're doing really well.
Yeah, I mean, they have home crowd advantage, and now we're looking at the stats. So Namibia, again, 4-0 for them. Shots, they've had 7, whereas Zimbabwe have had 2. And circle penetrations, 12 for Namibia, 5 for Zim. And possession, 55 to Namibia and 45 to Zim. As I said at the beginning of the game, it's the team that has the most possession that's gonna take home the win today. So Namibia are doing a good job there. And it's still quite close, but I do think that's going to be to their advantage. And penalty corners, 3 and 2. So, yeah, and there's been no goals from the penalty corners. So maybe it's something that they can try and pick up in the second half.
Again, with the possession, 55 and 45, it's very close. Like I said, Zim did look a bit more positive when they have the ball. But I think in the second chunk in Namibia, they're not carrying as much as Zim. They just pass, and that's what makes them look like the better team.
Yeah.
Who do you think's been playing the best so far, as in player-wise?
Well, I mean, I really am enjoying the defense of Namibia, so I think Marika Neetling is doing a really good job, just being very mature, containing the back there. And I've really liked Onique Bezedenote. I think that she's doing good. I mean, she's put 2 now into the goals, and that's what you need. So that's good for her. And
as I said earlier, with the danger players, like you get those players that when they get the ball, you're like, oh no, what am I going to do? And Onique up front there, I would be in that situation now, like, because she's scored 2 goals already. So
yeah, she's doing a good job. I also am really enjoying Abigail Rolls. We spoke about her a little bit. She's just distributing in the midfield, doing the simple things first, not being too flashy. And I think that's important for this game. Is as the teams, you need to play to your strengths. So if dribbling is not your strength, then don't do it. But I mean, if aerials aren't your strength, then don't do it, or do it if that is what you find, if you are confident in that.
And for Zim, you've quite liked that number 8, Amber.
Yeah, I think Amber's just looking exciting. I mean, she's really dribbling through the defenders in Namibia. They're struggling to tackle her quick turns. So
I think it's the 4th player that tackles her because she tries to take them all on, but I don't see her having a lot of support, although I don't hear what's happening on the field. Maybe her players are calling, but when she gets the ball, you do get a little bit excited. You think, here it comes.
I would really like to see Zim attacking from the right a little bit more, especially near the end of this half. They were attacking down the right, getting free hits in that baseline entry, and for any team coming in through that side, it's your left side, it's difficult to defend there. So I think that I would try and expose Namibia there.
So if you're watching on TV, there was a very exciting game this morning, South Africa versus Zambia, with a 19-0 victory. It was South Africa's first game of the tournament, as Uganda had to forfeit yesterday morning's game. Zambia and Zimbabwe men, that was quite a game to watch. Both teams, it was 1-1 until the last 7 seconds of the game, and then Zimbabwe put away their second goal. So that was also, that's always a game that you'll get all the kind of goosebump moments. And then Egypt and Kenya, that was...
Yeah, I mean, I think yesterday we watched the Namibian men play against Egypt, and Egypt is usually a very good competitor, especially against South Africa. You'll see the finals are usually Egypt versus South Africa men, and we were interested to see what yesterday would be, and I think that result was 3-1 to Namibia. So for the first time ever, if I'm not mistaken, Namibia had beaten Egypt, and now today 4-4 between Egypt and Kenya. That's I don't think that's heard of. From what I know.
It is weird because Egypt is a force to be reckoned with, so we do not quite sure what's going on. Like, we don't want to take away from Namibia and Kenya, but Egypt are usually the team that, like, I think the last time the Namibia men senior hockey played against Egypt, they lost 7-0, and that was like a good result. Whereas now, like, for Egypt they were even 4-2 up against Kenya, and then Kenya still made their comeback. So, like, that's very interesting. So we're not sure if Egypt is struggling or if the other teams have just finally found their feet and have stepped up.
And then you have the South Africa men against Namibia this afternoon, right before this game. South Africa winning 8-0. I know that the SA men played senior men's IPT last year and actually won that tournament. So against their own seniors, they beat them. So it's a quality team, and for them to win their game 8-0, it seems like SA is doing really well for themselves, and all the other teams just behind them are going to be really fighting that battle for those other 2 spots.
But again, though, today's game, the SA NAM men, it was so unfortunate because 6 of the 8 goals were just short corners. So in the second half, there weren't as many shorties. So it just shows that if the team talk at halftime helps, they just said stop getting shorties, try not to get shorties. But again, the last short corner SA got, they didn't score it because the defensive line eventually shifted. So it's little things like that. Like, you look at 8-0 and you think, all of it was short corners. Would it have been a difference if they just fixed their shorties? But South Africa is still a force. They are
clinical,
really,
very, very clinical. So it's going to be exciting. There's still a whole week left of hockey, and to watch those games. I mean, African hockey is always very exciting. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But now we're with Zimbabwe and Namibia, and the game after this is going to be Uganda versus Kenya women. So we will get to see Uganda play their first game of this tournament, and we don't know what to expect, but we are definitely looking forward to seeing that outcome.
Okay, teams are getting ready to start the second half.
It's always that 10-minute half time when you're watching, it feels very long, but when you're in the team talk, it goes by so quickly. But I'm sure Zim is already on the field. They are looking a little bit more energized, and I'm sure they're going to come out very, very strong in this second half.
We were couldn't quite eavesdrop on the Zimbabwe team talk, but we're hoping that the coach, maybe gave them some tips that we thought, we would have given them if we were in the dugout.
Because what we're saying might not make any sense, but hopefully some of it is more or less right.
And the third chuck is underway. Just like to give a shout out to everyone watching at home. We know we've got a lot of Namibian fans tuning in who couldn't be here today. So yeah, we just want to say thanks for all the support, and I'm sure you guys are enjoying this.
So I see Zim are not holding back. They are not going into a half court. They are full pressing Namibia. So it just shows that they're not afraid, but also that they need to win the turnovers and really get those circle entries. Mila Milan is chucking all the overheads, but it's connecting with her players. So,
just unlucky inside pass there by Mia. Zim get the turnover and Namibia win the ball back. Namibia have done really well at playing down the sides. They haven't used the middle a lot actually at all. I think maybe once or twice by accident.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to start looking to attack down the outside so that they can then play it into the middle. But they're just struggling to receive it a bit. I wonder if the sun has anything to do with it. That last bit of sun there on the left-hand side.
Bit of confusion there with the blow. Is Zim's ball. The two teams have now swapped sides, but the sun is looking not too bad, just in that one corner, so this should be nice for both teams.
Lovely slap out the back there. Zim gaining some height, just picked up by Kayla Giller. Very lovely interception there.
On to Tisha Semedo. Tomato. Tisha passes the ball off, and Zim win the blow.
It's a dangerous pass out the back. Fortunately, just couldn't quite connect it flat.
Zim really fighting to keep the ball. Luckily, nothing too offensive.
I would like to see a few more 3D skills from these teams. I think I only really saw South Africa using them in the women's section. But I would like to see a little bit more from the other teams, just to get. I mean, it's field hockey. There's so much more that you can do. There's actually barely any limitations.
There's some weather stats down at the bottom there. The wind is currently at 11 kilometers an hour. Has the wind ever affected you as a player?
I don't notice it at all.
Have you ever played anywhere where it's been like, not even in Durban?
Maybe Cape Town.
Cape Town.
Yeah, Cape
at
Town.
Hartley Vale.
Oh, and there was a circle entry there, but just not picked up by Zaylee Philander.
Zaylee Philander not happy with that call, though.
Maybe it hit a foot.
Namibia putting high pressure on Zim. Good interception by Mia Carstens.
I think what's important is the ball speed of the outletting. So I think that Zim is just struggling to really pick up the speed, and that's why it's easy for Namibia to turn over, just like Annika Higgs has done now. If they pass the ball a little bit quicker, then I think they'll find a lot more outlets.
You were speaking about aerial skills earlier. I'd hate to say it, but it's not always something Namibia has been good at. Like we try and practice it, but it's not natural to us. It's not our first instinct. It's like a second thought, and we're like, oh yeah.
So again, I think that has to do with our indoor hockey. Ooh, a dangerous pass there. Zim get the ball. Just back to Namibia. Just being an indoor hockey nation, as they call it. So our basics are very good.
Oh, good interception there by Marika Niedling. We get the carry. We
Crash
try a
ball
crash
by Mia Carsten. Is she going to hit the tomahawk? Annika Higgs just getting a deflection off of the Zimbabwean stick. So, so I think our foundation is really good, but because we are so used to not having to lift the ball, rather finding small space skills, we kind of forget, and then we just don't use them as much or think they are less important.
Good little 1-2 there by Samero and Neetling.
And it's
Getting
a
us the
short
shorty.
corner. Let's see if they can put this one away. I mean, they haven't put away. I think they had 3 short corners in the first half. So they're really going to want to look for this one.
Earlier, when you said Annika went for a tomahawk, I don't know about you, but I get very frustrated with players, but even with myself, when we could easily just pull onto our front stick, but we want to take the back stick shot. Like, I know some people back them, but sometimes like
Look, there's some players that definitely, it's a goal if they go onto it, but just pull it to the right side and hit the ball. I mean, that's how we started this whole thing anyway, so yeah, it is frustrating. I say it's going to go to the second castle. Drag flick by Marika Neethling.
You called it.
And it's a goal.
Well done. I will say that push was a bit slow, so I was a bit worried, but Marika, good stop by Abby Rolls and great little flick there by Marika Neethling to make it 5-0 to Namibia.
Crowd is going wild. They are loving the goals. They just want more and more.
What do you think happened with the short corner defense there?
Well, if you rewatch this highlight, you'll be able to see. Yeah, I think that's probably just the postman. I mean, sometimes they save it, sometimes they don't. I would have probably told it to stand a little bit more in the goals, then maybe it hits your body and you rather give away a P flick rather than a goal.
I'm impressed by the control though. The stop was a bit bouncy and Marika still managed to control and get away with the flick, so that was cool.
But again, with the defensive short corners, you have to run out faster. I think some people are afraid of the ball, maybe not in Zimbabwe's case, but they get afraid so they don't run in the line of the ball. But when the push comes out slowly, you have to take advantage of that.
I'm quite enjoying Marilena Fernandez, number 4 for Zimbabwe at the back. She's on the right, and like you said, they're not attacking down the right enough. So she is trying to find those gaps, but I think Namibia is just reading it a little bit well. But she is trying. Like, she gets it, and she makes a nice pass down the line. But I think Nam is just finding those interceptions a bit too easily. Again, she gets the ball. Tisha Samero, close. Okay.
Moving the ball a little bit quicker now, using the midfield.
Much better.
There we go.
See the shorter passes. But again, Namibia being able to have 2 to 3 players on one Zimbabwean.
I think they're putting a lot of pressure on the Zimbabweans so that when the Zimbabweans look up to make a pass, they can't see the options. They just see red.
A little bit of communication failure there. Zimbabwean carrying the ball nicely and ran into her own player. But Nam already fighting to win the ball, but Zim get the blow. Again, good troughing. So Zim start off well with their thing. Down the line.
Zim have
the
ball.
Chance.
Getting a foot there,
blow,
taking the quick free hit.
Sorry.
No. And it's a far post. Just cleaned up there by Nicola Fourie, number 9 for Namibia.
But again, they looked a bit slow to get there. It's like they're not backing themselves to actually, get the attacks going.
But that is still a positive for Zimbabwe. They're going to need a little bit more of that. I see they've moved Elijah into center striker, number 13. They had her in the midfield earlier. Now they've moved her a little bit up the field, hopefully trying to connect with her there so that she has less work to do and can just finish for them.
Onique with the ball. It just gets... Abby Rolls gets it back. Bit of a danger ball. Like I said, when we played Zim in the practice match, I feel like they were finding each other a lot better than they are today.
Yeah, whenever it comes to Zimbabwe, I'd say they're a really consistent team. We actually played against them at the last in Junior Africa qualifiers in 2015.
So let me ask you, Key. In 2015, you played them in the semi-finals. It was the last Africa qualifier that we actually could have because COVID stopped the one after that. But you played them in the semi-final. You were, what, the team baby? You were 16 years old?
Yeah, I was 15 years old.
15 years old. But if you could use one word to describe that game, what would it be?
Trauma. Yeah, no, so... Oh, Zim have a circle entry here.
Oh, they're calling for surely
They're
a
playing
blow.
it. And it's a advantage.
Yeah, surely. I think there's been 2 opportunities there that should have been a short
Perhaps
corner.
a short corner.
Yeah, I think they were robbed a little bit there, sorry to say. But again, they get the opportunity.
Foot. Quick free hit. Carrying it 5. Entering now.
Trying to get the... still Zimbabwe's ball. In other circumstances, that player would have probably gotten a card.
Elijah's just trying to find these foots here, but she's just not getting it.
But again, they're not finding each other. Did the same thing again.
I think she keeps finding a foot, but the umpire's just not giving it to her. And Marika Neethling sneakily just stealing this ball off of Elijah.
Yo, okay.
And she gets it throughout the pocket.
Nice hands of America. Oh, unfortunately.
Turnover by Namibia again.
But now Zim have the opportunity, feeding in. But Nam's defense is just, they're really just keeping this ball out.
Yeah, protecting their feet. As I said, yeah, just trauma. We I think played against Zimbabwe in the pool game and beat them quite convincingly, and then when we met them in the semi-finals again to hopefully be in the finals and be top 2 in Africa to qualify for the World Cup, because there was only 2 spots then, we lost 2-1 to them in that game, and they had 2 circle entries and scored 2 goals, and we had about, there's some communication from the umpire to the players.
I think Zim is asking for a lot of blows, but I'm sorry to say it, I do think they're being robbed a little bit. There has been a lot of moments where I think they should be getting the shorty, but unfortunately not.
Lots of frustration.
So
but they're putting a lot of pressure under the Namibians now. There's been a lot more play happening in this part. Maybe Namibia is getting a bit complacent.
And if you saw possession stats just now, it's still 55-45. But when Zim get the ball, you get a little bit excited there. For the way they carry it, but maybe that's the downfall, is they're carrying too much.
I agree, Namibia is playing through the lines.
Yeah.
And there we have an opportunity, and it's a goal by Mia Carsten for Namibia, making it 6-0.
And again, what a nice clean build-up. It's pass, 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 find and take the shot. Like, maybe that is what Zim is just lacking in this game, unfortunately.
Very, very patient build-up there. So nice to see that hockey.
So sorry, we can go back to that now. You were saying they're a very consistent team usually, but that game that you played, you guys had like 40,000 shots at goal, and they had 2 circle entries and beat you 2-1.
Yeah, it was, I don't know, we just couldn't put it in the back of the net like our under-21s are doing today.
Well, look at what Mia just did now. We spoke about it earlier. She didn't try and take a backstick shot. She pulled it onto her front stick and just placed it. So that was, I'm very happy about that.
I'm sure Cedric McCarthy is as well, the head coach. And Zim have an opportunity here.
Pull onto their backstick again though, but I think that's
Are they going to find a foot?
Oh, fortunately their own foot, I think.
It's a long corner for Zim, so they still have a chance here.
Good arcing. You see, they can't find each other.
Having to go all the way back, it's the last thing that you want to do, especially when you finally made your way into the 25.
Nam's holding out a little bit. We can hear their coach, McCarthy, calling some instructions for them to push higher, but I think it's that time of the game where they're getting a little bit tired though. But that's okay for them though, like 6-0 up. You can afford to get a little bit tired, I think. Birthday girl on the ball.
Unfortunately not finding her midfielders there.
Here we go, Zim.
Just playing a danger ball. It's just the little things. You just want them to find those connections that they just aren't finding today.
Neetling going off for a change or not.
Bit of miscommunication there, having to keep her on. Clearly the coach is loving the way that she's playing right now, doesn't want to take her off the field.
Just talking again, Ki, about... Ooh.
Might be a card here,
Uh,
and a
was,
card for Mila Milan.
yeah, it was a bit of a bad challenge there, but unfortunate by
Is
Mila.
it a short corner as well?
Is it?
Ah, Zimbabwe also win
Ooh.
the short corner. Was there a card?
Yeah. I think there was. I did see Mila look and run off, so I assume so. I wonder if Zimbabwe can take advantage of this now.
You know, at least they're not giving up.
I was just about to
being
say, yeah,
6-0 down,
they
it's
still-
not easy.
yeah.
But they are still fighting, they are still pushing hard.
Still 2 minutes left of the third quarter.
Oh, and just saved by Anri Jacobs there. I do think that variation had the potential to work, though. There was a lot of space for Zimbabwe to take that shot.
Yeah,
and
I thought that was quite an open chance there. So,
I know that Anri is also quite a decent keeper, so I think I would have maybe placed it low, past her feet. It's not usually too easy for a goalkeeper. High is a little bit easier. But yeah, all smiles after that save. Marika Neethling begging to come off the field, I think.
I was going to mention conditioning earlier. I will say, like, we know most of the Namibian girls, and they really are looking conditioned and quite fit. I think that's one thing Cedric McCarthy really works on, is fitness. And some of these girls are looking really good. Like, I think they're handling the tempo of the game quite well.
Yeah, I agree. I'm sure they had a pretty good program going. I think most of these teams maybe had a good program leading up to this tournament. They had a bit of extra time to train for it. Some nice 3D skills there from the Zimbabweans.
Ooh.
Not 5. This will be a card for Azali
Philander.
Philander, the captain. Not happy with that. Doesn't agree with it at all, but she'll sit now.
Sim do have a nice, like, basic build-up, but it's just that last finding, you know, someone in the 25. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot with regards to that, but it really is like just that one thing they need to change.
Yeah. But I mean, that's 2 cards for Namibia now. When
Is Mila still off, or is she
well,
still?
Even if she is still off, I think she might be back on. But they've gotten 2 cards. So that's a little bit ill-disciplined hockey that they're playing there, which isn't good, because if this was a much tighter score, that could cost them. So they better fix that before
Like, it's
they play the other
unnecessary
teams.
mistakes that you don't need when you're 6-0 up, you know?
Yeah.
You just put a bit of pressure on your teammates from there.
And once again, this is a round robin is all about goal difference. So, in fact, Namibia should be pushing a little bit harder for more goals in this case, because
they don't know what could happen in the next few games.
There's no guarantee that they will win the next few games. So that's the final whistle for the third quarter.
Definitely better by Zimbabwe, I think. They were definitely showing a bit more exciting hockey at the top there. Do you think that is purely because they've stepped up, or is it because Namibia has become a bit complacent with their 6-0?
I would say a bit of both. I mean, it's the score in that quarter was 2-0 with the short corner by Marika Neethling and the tap in there by Mia Karsten. But I think it is a bit of complacency. I think that they
don't need to push, really.
Almost saving legs. But I think Zim's also come out a little bit more firing with that energy and that nothing to lose attitude. And it could have caught Namibia off guard.
Yeah.
Some of the first half highlights again.
I do quite enjoy the excitement.
Love the celebrations. Yeah, it's really important to celebrate the goals that you get. Lovely drag flick there by Marika Neethling. I think it was deflected by a Zimbabwean stick to bring it down, but to their advantage. And a whole team celebration. It's so special.
Yeah,
it's really special.
That is one thing I've quite enjoyed about Namibia um, over the past few games is what we like to call for ourselves the unity that we have as a community right now. Like the senior players are all out here supporting the junior players. Um, we have very close relationships with these girls. Like it's very exciting to watch them grow because we're excited for the future that they can bring to our country. So
Yeah, and also men supporting women. I
Yeah.
mean, everyone is just women supporting men. It's just
Like a
we've all
family.
sort of come together,
yeah,
and a lot of the players have grown up together as well.
Mm.
So that's a good way that they connect. Just some nice skill there from Marika Neethling under pressure in the left pocket. But also, I mean, you can see the Zimbabwe men sitting there all together. Don't know if you see in the yellow on the live stream there. That's all the Zimbabwean under 21 men
Yeah,
supporting
I
their
love their
girls.
chants and the way they cheer for each
Yeah.
other. I said that is one thing I do miss from the Namibian sides, though. But there is, I don't know if you'll watch this later, but Dalron Hondura, his little brother Giovanni, is playing for the men, and he came to us earlier. He's like,
Zimbabwe
"Ooh."
making a 1-2 pass here, getting a foot just outside the
attack.
25. I think that was some sneaky defending there by Nicola Fourie.
Again, we have to go back on the build-up.
He's going to look to attack the baseline, maybe find a short corner here.
That's
And
okay.
it's a short corner
They
for Zimbabwe. They're going to
Finally
be
got the shorty.
finally,
Yeah.
finally.
As I was saying, Shane, Dalron Hondura's brother Giovanni's in the men's team, and he asked us yesterday, can we please all sit together in tomorrow's game because I want to start singing, I'll bring my drums. And you could really hear him. But now the Zim boys are, outdoing the Namibians a
Yes.
little bit.
There
with
they
their-
are supporting their
Yeah.
girls, and it makes a huge difference.
It really
I mean,
does.
Namibia does have home crowd advantage, but just having your other team there, just supporting you, chanting, cheering you on till the very last minute, it makes such a huge
Yeah.
difference. And it's so cool because there must be some form of unity then between the players as well as the management staff. You don't know, maybe they're quite close and helping one another just to do well in this tournament.
What do you think?
I think it's going to go to Elijah. And again, goes high, and it's a free hit for Namibia. I'm not so sure why. May have been dangerous. Umpire's calling dangerous.
I don't know. I'm hoping to see a replay. I'm not sure if they will, but I feel like a Namibian swiped it, or was it a Zimbabwean that maybe swiped in the air to try and
Maybe.
yeah,
I
that
just missed that
yeah.
one.
Good interception
Interception
there.
by Zim and just not connecting with another player. Number 12, they're hoping to have received it. Here's the replay. Yes, I think that the Zimbabwean injector tried to play it in the air and just made it a dangerous call.
Tisha Semedo just not managing to control that overhead.
I think if we speak about the short corner again, Elijah again went high, and I think that she should have just gone low and maybe to the right-hand side. So hopefully they get another short corner so that they can try that.
There's a lot of interesting duels that have happened in this game, though. Like, I don't know if that's because if players go into contact too much, or I don't know. I'm not always enjoying how the players are always like trying to win balls instead of just like managing the player to make a bad pass or to, if that makes sense. It's always like this crash into each other, and
Yeah.
you never actually know who to blow
Not
the ball
too
for.
clean, yeah.
Who do you blow the whistle for?
50-50 calls.
Yeah.
Zim are now connecting again. Namibia looking for some tackles there. A little bit of build-up. And bouncing. Yeah, as we said, Namibia getting a bit physical with their defense.
That was Louisa McCartney. She's quite new to the Namibian setup. She's from the coast, if I'm correct. She's quite a cute player, though. I can't imagine what it must feel like to come in new.
Yeah, just some skills there
yeah.
from Abigail Rolls to find a foot. Yeah, but I think she is a youngster. And it's exciting. I mean, this is experience that she's gaining. So building confidence for her.
Yesterday she was played on the right quite a lot for a very important game. So
Yeah.
she must have really impressed the coach to stay on as long as she had.
We have Marlene
Good.
Kutsia looking
Good
to break the
carrying.
lines. getting through some defense there and just losing control of the ball, but still wins the free hit.
You can see with the body language now, I think it's becoming a bit tiring out there. But again, Nam don't have to carry so much. When you have a lead like this, just patient build-ups and just find the connections up front.
Just opening her stick too much there, making it a bit dangerous.
I feel like the intention was good though. If it had been a proper pass, it would have been a nice build-up again.
See, the coach is calling the press to drop out a little bit. So maybe trying to save some legs, or I could be wrong.
Tanato Mukutekwa with the ball.
Playing it back down the left. Good connection with the outside player. Just trying to one time and mistraps it there. I think the outside's such a risky area. It's best just to control the ball and find that connection with your higher striker.
Especially when you do have enough space on you.
See, Anthea Kutsia has moved a little bit to the back in this game. Just unfortunately passed a ball out, but she was playing more midfield yesterday in their game, and yeah, she's
a very known for her work rate, very hard worker. She currently plays in Switzerland, I think it was. So she studies overseas, so she didn't come home, you know, unprepared to play for this team. She definitely was doing the most to get her games in.
Zim are finding the attack here in the 5-yard area, putting Namibia under pressure. But again, just trying these crash balls.
Basics. I feel like Namibia can also just slow it down a little. They don't need to rush it from the back there.
Although the score has stayed the same for quite some time now, which is good for Zimbabwe. It shows that they've changed something in their defense or in their press to keep Namibia out. Merika Nyethling going to attack the left now. Number 12, Rebecca Windsor, forcing them to go back to the right. Pressing high now.
I see the
and just out there. It shows that Zim's press actually worked quite nicely there because they won the ball.
They've changed their structure at the back there a little bit. I think because Marika now isn't in the center, they've got two different players. Do you think she'll go back into the center?
I don't think that they really need her there right now. I think that
she
they
somehow
are
finds
trusting.
finds her way back to the back.
Well, I think she's got the ball now there, so clearly we were wrong. It'll be nice to see how they play against, I think, South Africa. But both teams, I mean, although the scoreline right now is 6-0 to Namibia, I think that maybe South Africa watching should not underestimate Zimbabwe.
Again, some good build-up play there by Nam again. It's just outside, inside, you know, they're just finding nice.
Just keeping the ball, playing it around, yeah. But
sorry if we were mistaken. That might not have been Anthea. That might have been Nikki that was playing at the back there. Because I see she's making a change now.
So as I was saying, I think South Africa maybe watching this game just shouldn't underestimate Zimbabwe as well as Namibia, because every game is different. You can lose one game 6-0 and then, you know, win the next one.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, when Namibia and Zimbabwe played each other in a warm-up game, a practice match, the score was 2-1. So it was a tight game. So that's why we thought this game would be a lot more difficult than what it is. So Namibia with 53% possession and Zimbabwe with 47%. So Zim definitely stepping it up and getting the attack again, but Zim's defense definitely stepping in there.
And the speed of Elijah on the outside, just taking Alice Rolls on. Getting it through to the front. Zim have a circle entry. Will they get
Can
the
they
shorty?
get the shorty? Can they get the goal? Oh, maybe holding on a little bit too long onto the ball there.
Oh. Little bit of frustration there by the Namibian defense.
Giving Zimbabwe player number. Can't see the numbers again. So Zim a player down. Again, Nam don't have to, you know.
Don't have to
they
force
don't
anything.
have to force anything. They can
Especially
just-
now that Zim's a player down. They can just keep the ball. In fact, I think that they should actually, I don't know if the coach did, but try a few other things. Try new things. Practice for the other games coming up.
Not to underestimate the opposition.
No, not
But
at
with
all.
a few minutes left in the last quarter, I do see he's been putting some different players on. Green card for Jessica Orford, number 10.
Oh, and lovely skill here by Zimbabwe. Again, Amber. But maybe should have just released the ball wide there to her player.
But again, she made a good connection there. Good ball in, and just picked off.
Zimbabwe
Zim
winning
win
the ball.
Can they
Circle
get something
entry.
from this?
Perhaps a short corner. A long corner for Zimbabwe. Hasn't been a lot of attack for Namibia in this quarter.
Zim get another circle entry, but again, just picked off by our Namibian defense.
And the attack on the outside is Zali Philander, captain, looking for a pass inside and just mispassing it. Umpire gives Namibia the ball though.
I think Zali was given the advantage, and then
I
yeah.
see.
But again, they can just be patient on build-up. But they are finding each other a lot easier.
Oh,
was
playing
good.
through the middle.
Good play. Good pass out. Nam in the 25. Oh,
Just not connecting there. Anthea Kutsia and Annika Higgs.
again, there hasn't been a point where I felt like Zim has given up. Like they really are. It's as if like through the game they're figuring things out. But it's a bit too late, unfortunately.
5 more minutes left in this game.
No goals this quarter yet.
None. By both teams. But as I said, Namibia have really not been having a lot of attack, but lovely build-up.
Lovely.
Lovely through passes and a short corner. I think in the 3 or 4 attacks that Namibia have had, there have been some really positive outcomes.
It's really attractive hockey, like the pass. It's
I agree.
really good to watch.
Not sure why they gave the short corner there. Was it for a foot?
I think she thinks the player was inside the circle and it hit her. I thought it was danger, but maybe from our angle, it wasn't. Then none of them contested it. So, do you think they would have used video referrals a lot if they were an option in this tournament so far?
I do think so. It's always fun to use them. Makes the game a lot more interesting. I think it's Marika again. Not this time. They were trying to look for the
Unfortunate
first
mistrap.
castle. Azali Philander. And Zim clear the ball. Long corner for Namibia. That was just a little bit of a fumble there by the stopper. Mia Carson and Elijah battling it out there, and Zimbabwe come off.
Elijah looking for a quick ball there, but didn't have any options.
It's actually nice to see that number 10, Jessica Orford, she took a bit of a knock in the first half, but she clearly got a lot better, much quicker, and has been back on the park for the rest of the game. So at least they didn't lose a player today.
That was Zimbabwe number 12, Rebecca Windsor. Every time she gets the ball, they kind of pounce on her, but she manages to just keep it. There she goes again.
Yeah, she's winning the ball
Yeah.
now. going forward.
Inside pull, still has it. Goes for an attempted crash ball again. I think I'm just disappointed in the crash bowling because it's not like it's not Zimbabwe style.
Yeah.
Like I'm not used to them doing that. So that's why I'm a bit frustrated on their part, because when we played them, they didn't do that. They barely did that against us. So I don't know if it's just maybe because they're tired and but they've been doing it the whole game. So
I think it almost becomes a last resort.
yeah.
But there's Namibia. Mila Milan gave a nice overhead. Marlene finds
Open
Anique.
shot.
And she
Oh.
just hits it wide. I don't know, maybe in that situation, maybe should have pulled the keeper and eliminated and gone around. But she took the shot and unfortunately just went wide.
Again, with their good build-up play, for Anique to have that much space is really good leading lines from Namibia.
Zimbabwe being put under a little bit more pressure here by Namibia. Finding it in and out.
Good
Just
by
intercepted by
Mia
Mia Carsten.
Good carrying.
Carrying it into the field. Bit loose there.
Should be a free hit outside. One thing Namibia's also done really well is how they back each other up. So if a player goes on a run, there's always someone behind them to help them out. Reganitling with carrying the ball, taking on two players.
Yeah, I think it's unfortunate there for Zimbabwe because they did a few of the same things. I can't say I saw it hit a foot, but in their attacking circle, they weren't getting those blows, and now it's a short corner for Namibia. I have a feeling they're going to do a variation now. I don't think that they will go straight for Marika. But it's also in games like this where you don't really want to give away too many of your short corner options in case you have to use them in the tougher moments. So maybe they're just going to do a straight. Also, I think the first one they tried, Anthea could see number 12 on the first castle, and her sister, Marlene, could see pushing out to her. Could see her, sorry. Goes to her.
They did try
Stopped on the
meant
line
to
there.
go to the pusher.
Maybe a back to pusher variation they were trying. Little sibling sister duo. Just not working out.
It's funny, earlier I saw photos of Anthea and her sister, and her sister's so much taller and bigger than her. So I was like, hey, same, because you're so much taller and bigger than me as my younger sister. And it's, and I think Madeline's also got so much more power when she plays, even though Anthea's got a lot of work rate in her. Again, Namibia being able to do a good build-up.
Kayla Giller here finding it nice on the outside here on the left. Oh, just giving it away. And that's the final whistle for this game.
Were there any goals in that last?
No
chapter?
goals in that last chukka. I think Zimbabwe had more chances, but there you have it. 6-0 for Namibia in this fifth game of the day against Zimbabwe. And they'll be very happy with that result and that victory.
Thank you all for joining us. Sorry that you couldn't make it to the Trusco Dave and Astro today, but hopefully you'll be able to join us on Monday, as tomorrow is a rest day for all the teams.
I don't even think we introduced ourselves, but did we?
We did.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Okay, yeah.
But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed that game. We're happy for Namibia, but I think there's a lot Zimbabwe can take from that. And we're excited to see how the rest of the tournament goes.
One more game for today, and tomorrow's a rest day for all the teams, so they'll have a lot to talk about. And
a few little highlights left.
like really some lovely skill from Zimbabwe, but just couldn't find the attack going forward.
Yeah, unfortunately their last chukka, I feel if they had played their first chukka that way, it would have, the game could have easily gone differently.
See all the teams shaking hands, and just Namibia walking off with a lot of smiles. Zimbabwe actually, it's quite special, running off to their boys team that have supported them the whole game, just thanking them, clapping hands, and obviously not happy that they lost, but still, spirits are high, and they're not giving up.
I really think they can take away a lot from this game. I'm not saying anyone goes and listens to the commentary and takes any advice, but yeah, we just there again finding each other and stop with the crash balls.
Yeah.
But there you have the stats: 6 to Namibia, 0 to Zimbabwe, 11 shots at goal for Namibia. I wonder if their coach will be happy with 6 out of 11. Circle penetrations 19 and 14, so Zimbabwe definitely had their chances. And with possession 52 and 48, that's
It's a lot closer.
That's close, yeah.
But I think that was in that second half. Zimbabwe were definitely, the second half score was only 2-0 to Namibia. So
I see both teams got a green card, so maybe Mila Malan didn't get a card.
we were wrong, we didn't see. Well,
so that was the game, guys. I think it was not the score we expected, but obviously as Namibians we're very happy for them. But we're hoping Zimbabwe brings out a bit more of a fight against their other teams.
yeah, just stay tuned, keep watching, and please come and support. It's really cool here, and some great hockey coming on. Bye, everybody.
Bye.